In recent years, drones have slowly been gaining popularity. They're becoming more and more advanced, and the entry-level ones are getting all the more affordable. A lot of people are starting to use them, and you might even know someone who owns one. And while drones offer a lot of advantages, there are some drawbacks. As they are considered aircraft, they're sort of in the gray area in terms of rules and policies. That's why many of them fly around unrestricted. The bright side is we're discovering a lot of unexpected things through the footage that drones provide. In this video, we'll take a look at some of the spookiest and most interesting drone footage. From a flying ghost to a secret experiment, here are the 15 scariest things caught by drones. Number 15. Flying Ghost. Since Halloween is right around the corner, this might inspire you to do something different to frightening people. But be careful, because it just might bring you trouble because of how terrifying it is. This man decided to attach a terrifying monster figure on his drone, and I have to say it looks spooky enough on its own. But it's a different story when it's flying in the air. It looks like a thing that's out to kill, and anyone will most likely be scared of it. And when you're scared of something, your rationality will be conquered by your urge to get as far away as possible from the thing you're afraid of. When this man noticed that something flying was chasing him, all he needed was one look to decide that he needed to escape. He ran as quickly as he could, and this drone prank probably scared him out of his wits. So the next time you see a flying monster coming towards you, you might want to look twice just to make sure it's not just a drone in disguise. But I guess it's better to just run like this guy just in case it's an actual monster. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now. Number 14. Headless Moose. Moose are incredibly huge creatures that can grow up to 6 feet tall at the shoulder and can weigh as much as 1,400 pounds. People who have never seen a moose up close are always shocked when they see the animal towering over small cars. With that being said, they might be incredibly strong creatures, but I don't think they're strong enough to be able to walk without a head. So how did this animal manage to walk without a head? While taking footage of a train wreck, a drone captured a moose running across the tracks. But it wasn't just any other moose. It was one that lacked a head. I don't know about you, but I think that's terrifying and amazing at the same time. Some animals like deer can walk around with a large chunk of their bodies missing for minutes or hours without noticing their injury. In this case, however, it just doesn't seem plausible for the animal to be able to move around without a head. So far, we only know several animals that can live without their heads. One chicken named Miracle Mike lived for a year and a half before dying. Cockroaches, snakes, frogs, and snapping turtles are also known to be able to survive for days to weeks even without their heads. But a moose? That's just unheard of. Number 13. Drone Rocket. No one likes a nosy neighbor. A little music is all right, but you have to be considerate of others, depending on your living situation. If you're living in the middle of nowhere, no one will really mind you blasting your speakers on full volume. But if you're living in a residential area, playing loud music as if you want to make your neighbors go deaf is definitely a bad idea. Sure, they just might give you a free pass for the crazy noise level, but there's also a chance that they'll do something drastic just like this. In this video, a man somehow managed to make a drone shoot out real fireworks. The man was allegedly pissed off by his neighbor's loud music. You gotta admit that while this method definitely caught his neighbor's attention, there's also a chance that the cops would notice. Luckily, the people hanging out outside the house dispersed quickly, and hopefully the loud and rowdy party of his neighbor ended after that. I guess the drone owner really wanted a good night's sleep without hearing the shouting and loud bass music. Would you do the same thing if you had the chance? Number 12. Ireland's Wormholes. Also known as the Serpent's Lair, the Wormhole of Ireland has been a popular subject on the internet this year. It's located on the Aran Islands, and a lot of adventurous souls visit this place all year round. Although this hole looks like a perfectly rectangular man-made pit, it actually formed naturally. This fascinating hole is also a natural swimming pool where people can do breathtaking and death-defying dives. Number 11. Crabzilla. This photo made waves on the internet recently, and a lot of people were horrified and amazed by it. This really shows that you do notice a lot more things from a bird's eye view. As they say, the closer you look, the less you see. Who would have thought that this giant crab managed to chill near the shallow water of this pier unnoticed? If an aerial camera didn't manage to capture this, no one would have been able to see the almost 50-foot crab, which is now known as Crabzilla. Here's the catch. This massive crab has the same shape and appearance as an edible crab species found in British water. The only difference is that the edible crab only grows up to 5 inches. Some people claim that this footage is a hoax and it was digitally manipulated. Either way, it's a win-win situation. If it's a fake, then it's good news because we don't have to worry about behemoth crustaceans with large pincers. If it's real, then the term giant king crab has a new meaning. Just imagine how much meat this 50-foot giant has inside. Number 10. Chimpanzee takeover. Did you know that chimpanzees have an estimated IQ of about 20 to 25? For comparison, that's similar to that of a toddler. For this reason, chimpanzees are capable of thinking and analyzing, making them one of the smartest in the animal kingdom. Some chimpanzees that are in captivity even learned how to communicate and understand humans. I don't know if you remember that movie where gorillas took over the planet, but this clip might remind you of it. In this video, you can see a chimpanzee flying a drone on its own. It seems to understand what the controllers are for. These guys might not be as good as humans in terms of operating this gadget, but you have to admit that it's awesome to see them operate such a thing. Number 9. Lighthouse keeper. Do you like staying alone? Do you want to live in the middle of nowhere with no one to disturb you? A place where you can hear the crashing waves during the night and you can be left alone with your thoughts? If this sounds like heaven to you, well, you might be interested in becoming a lighthouse keeper. You get to stay inside a lighthouse with your only job being the caretaker of the establishment. What's more, it's quite certain that no one would disturb you because to reach you, your persistent friends would need to brave massive waves. With this occupation, you can earn up to $3,000 to $4,000 a month on average. But on rare occasions, the salary can be as much as $130,000 per year. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to convince you to be one. After all, since many lighthouses became automated, there's no need for a stay-in person to take care of everything each day. This job has become obsolete, and for good reason. Back then, people would risk their lives to live in the middle of the ocean, where waves exceeding 10 feet crash into the walls of lighthouses. It's definitely not a job for the faint of heart. Just take for example this footage of a man opening the door of a lighthouse to check out the flying drone outside. Seconds later, a huge wave crashed into the lighthouse, but luckily the lighthouse keeper managed to close the door. If it weren't for his quick reaction, he would have been washed away into the ocean. Number 8. Door to Hell. I bet that you have seen this pit a couple of years ago. This is the popular Door to Hell, located in Turkmenistan. This fiery pit, or the Gates of Hell, is officially named the Darvaza gas crater. It was allegedly created in 1971 when a Soviet drilling rig punctured a massive underground natural gas cavern. To get rid of the gas, which is fatal to the surrounding area, the authorities ignited the pit, thinking it would extinguish on its own once the gas inevitably ran out. But boy, were they wrong. A little over 50 years have passed since it was set alight, and to this day, it still continues to burn. It's almost as if the flames are here to stay. However, efforts are being made to extinguish the flames. The flames are harmful to both people and the environment. Many attempts have tried to rid the 100-foot deep pit of its flames, but so far, no one has been successful. Many researchers and scientists risk their lives to go down to the burning pit to gather more information, but we can't do much more to stop the raging fire. For now, people are free to witness this terrifying sight until we figure out a way to get rid of the flames. Number 7. Angry Neighbor. And this is why some states in the United States place specific laws and regulations on drones. It's because sometimes people will use them to gather footage of other people's property. It's fine to appreciate places, but I don't think anyone would appreciate being spied on by a flying drone. This drone owner got a little too far from surveying the area around his neighborhood. Instead of moving to a different place, he decided to hover the drone above this man's home. It just so happened that the homeowner and his wife were chilling in their yard. When the man noticed that a drone was spying on them, he went inside, and seconds later he returned to the yard, this time holding a gun. He quickly aimed at the drone, and after several failed attempts, the man finally hit the target. Hopefully, the drone owner learned his lesson. I guess this is why countries like Cuba, Egypt, Iran, Syria, Uzbekistan, and many more restrict people from flying drones. Number 6. The Hoska Castle. Located in the middle of the forest, the Hoska Castle is a hauntingly beautiful place with a horrifying legend. Unlike other fortresses and castles found on the continent, the Hoska Castle doesn't seem to be strategically important. There's no water surrounding it, and it looks like it was arbitrarily built where it stood for no apparent reason. It also looks like it was built to keep something in, rather than to keep people out. However, the legend goes that this castle was built exactly on this spot for an incredibly important reason. Beneath the castle is a hole said to be filled with demons and evil monsters. To seal it, the Hoska Castle was constructed. Many believe that beneath this castle is the gateway to hell. I know you're curious to see the actual hole, but the thing is, almost everyone who saw the hole and lived to tell the tale, and those who knew something about it, were sworn to secrecy. Many prisoners in the late 13th century dodged the gallows by agreeing to be lowered down into the hole. They were saved with a condition that they would report what they saw down below, without releasing the secret to anyone else. To add to the eeriness and horror of the castle, it was also used as a fortress by the Nazis during the Second World War. If you'd like to see this castle up close and explore it not only from a bird's eye view, you're free to do so. But beware, the interior of the castle is incredibly spooky, and who knows, the gateway to hell might turn out to be real. Number 5. Locust Plague. It's a beautiful day, the sun is out, you've had your morning coffee, and a nice stroll outside will complete your day. But the moment you open your door, this is what you see. Locusts. Millions of them flying around, making it look like the apocalypse is near. In the past 2 years, several countries have been devastated by dreadful locust plagues. Trust me, seeing this in person is much more horrifying. At first, you'd think that rain clouds are darkening the sky, but after a while, you'll notice swarms and swarms of these pesky insects. But the people who are most concerned about these insects are farmers. These voracious eaters can easily invade and consume the crops on a farm in just a matter of hours. For people who are entirely dependent on farming as their source of income and food, this is a worst-case scenario. These species are known to be migratory insects, capable of flying long distances. They can go from place to place in search of food. Would you believe that these tiny insects regularly cross the Red Sea, which is about 300 kilometers? They can fly for days, even over the ocean, in search of a place with a lot of food. That's why the next patch of farmland they see often gets destroyed by them. These insects start off as solitary creatures, but the bigger the group gets, the more serotonin they get, and the more active they are in eating and reproducing. The recent swarms are one of the worst in the last few decades, and it's definitely alarming. And now it's time for today's topic. A man in the United States was testing out his drone when he captured something. He decided to try flying his drone in the city in the middle of the night to avoid the crowd. The streets were deserted, and he thought he got some pretty cool footage. However, while reviewing the videos he got, he saw something strange. He saw this strange human that looks like a monster. If the drone didn't capture this, no one would believe it. However, he lost access to the video, and all that was left was this snippet he sent to his friends. Some say this is a werewolf or the rumored dogman that roams the forest of some states in the United States. I guess there's just something that prevents us from capturing these cryptids clearly on camera. What do you think this creature is? And have you also captured a scary photo that you think no one should see? As always, comment down below with the hashtag today's topic and let us know your opinion about what we just showed on screen. With that said, let's keep things moving. Number 4. Giant Mystery Creature. Google Earth is quite amazing. Not only does it help us see the rest of the planet from the comfort of our own homes, but it also helps us see strange anomalies around the world. Just take for example this huge sea monster captured by the Google camera. This is a photo of OK Bay, an area on the east coast of the North Island of New Zealand. In the photo, you can see a massive mark in the water. It looks like something you would see after a whale or a shark just surfaced and dived back in. According to researchers, this could have only been created by a creature larger than a shark. It's also not possible for this mark to have been created by a motorboat because it didn't have the usual white froth. This unusual sighting garnered the attention of a lot of people who flocked to the beach in hopes of seeing this huge creature. Do you really think an unknown creature is lurking underneath the ocean of New Zealand? If so, what do you think prompted it to swim close to the shore at the time? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Number 3. Tesla Tower. How would you react if you stumbled upon these strange towers while walking in the woods? If you've seen enough horror movies, there's a huge chance that you'd immediately walk back to where you came from. Sometimes it's better not to let your curiosity get the best of you, because that's what kills the side characters in horror movies. But you don't need to worry about these installations. These strange tubes located in Istra, Russia are part of the Marks generator. It was constructed in the 1970s by the Russian Electrical Engineering Institute with the purpose of testing lightning insulation. At its peak, this huge, strange-looking generator could discharge for 100 microseconds, which means it was powerful enough to be at the same level as all other generators in the country. However, today, this weird tower is mostly abandoned. It still works, but it's rarely turned on, with its last recorded use being in August 2014. In case you want to see this strange contraption for yourself, sorry to disappoint you, but you won't be able to do so, as the area is fenced off and is often guarded by dogs. Number 2. Arizona's crater. Have you ever wondered what would happen if a space rock hit the planet? Well, a lot of them actually enter our planet's atmosphere, and usually by the time they hit our planet's crust, they aren't big enough to make an impact. But if we're talking about a giant meteor hitting the planet, then its aftermath would look something like this. Located on the plains of Arizona, United States, the meteor crater, or the Barringer crater, is among the most preserved on the planet. It was formed by a massive meteor that hit our planet some 50,000 years ago. If another meteor as massive as the one that created this crater hit our planet, the effect would be catastrophic. This impact crater is a massive 570-foot deep pit that is over 4,000 feet across. This field has enough room for 20 football fields. Aside from the wow factor, it provides a horrifying reminder of destruction, but it also gives a lot of information to astronomers. Just imagine, someday we might need to find a way to stop a meteor from destroying a huge chunk of our planet. Hopefully, it'll be thousands of years from now, and by that time, there's a chance that we're all gone. Number 1. Secret experiment. One of the most popular conspiracy theories is that the government is hiding something from people. Many believe the US government and NASA are hiding secrets that only a few selected individuals are privy to. I guess it's not really far-fetched to think that powerful and influential people hold secrets that they don't want the rest of the world to know. That's why we're always on the lookout in case something strange happens. In this clip, a secret drone captured what looked like a secret experiment. You can see several people dressed in white picking something up near the bank of an unknown river. The men in white carried what looked to be a half-human, half-fish creature to the stretcher where 2 other men dressed in yellow safety clothing were waiting. The men in white inspected the river before leaving the area along with the strange body they just picked up. Many people claim that this footage is evidence of an ongoing biological experiment. However, there are a few fishy things, pun intended, going on in the video that make some people skeptical about its origin. Some pointed out that this just might have been taken from an unknown small-budget film, while some claim that the half-fish, half-human creature had just been edited into the video. What do you think? Is this actually authentic? Or is this, yet again, another hoax? Let me know what you think in the comments. Drones are pretty cool, don't you think? But the footage that they capture can sometimes be creepy. Which one of these clips spooked or intrigued you the most? Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have a drone yourself, feel free to share the craziest and spookiest clip you have as well. Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on the screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.